is with them. They can't even say anything to each other because they are so sad.
Look at your heart. Have you ever been very sad? Or do you know someone who has been very sad? Being sad can really hurt someone's heart a lot, can't it? Sometimes our hearts are sad because we cannot be with someone we love. If you can remember a time when you were very sad, show Jesus what your heart looked like when you felt that way. Picture Jesus loving you when you show him your sad heart. Then, when you are ready, ask Jesus to help him make your heart more like his.
Fifth station, Jesus is helped by Simon. Look at Jesus. Jesus is so tired that the soldiers know he cannot carry the heavy cross by himself. So they look around and see someone who looks strong enough to help Jesus carry the cross. This person's name is Simon. Jesus just looks at Simon and quietly whispers, "Thank you," to Simon. Then they continue on the long road carrying the cross together.
Look at your heart. Sometimes helping people can be difficult for so many different reasons. Maybe you haven't finished something that you like to do when someone asks you for help. Or maybe you just don't like helping that person. Can you think of a time when you were asked to help someone and didn't want to help? Show Jesus what it was like when that happened. And picture Jesus loving you as you show him your heart. Maybe you can even hear Jesus whisper, "Thank you for helping." Then, when you are ready, ask Jesus to help him make your heart more like his.
Sixth station, Veronica wipes the face of Jesus. Look at Jesus. Jesus is hot, tired, and sweating. His hair is all tangled, and he is covered in dust from the long walk. Suddenly, a woman pushes her way out of the crowd and stands in front of Jesus. She takes a clean cloth and gently wipes Jesus' face. Jesus is so thankful that he leaves a picture of himself on the cloth.
Look at your heart. Have you ever helped someone? Have you ever done something that helped someone feel better? Sometimes you may have done something that you thought was very small or unimportant. Bringing a glass of water or juice to someone, or even giving someone a helping hand with a chore. Maybe you just smiled at someone who looked sad. As you think of the times you helped, so show Jesus your heart as you picture Jesus loving you. Maybe you can also picture Jesus. Maybe you can also picture Jesus leaving a picture of his face on your heart. Then, when you are ready, ask Jesus to help him make your heart more like his.
Seventh station, Jesus falls for the second time. Look at Jesus. How very tired, weak, and sad Jesus is now. Even though he keeps trying to walk with the heavy cross, he just can't keep going. The noise from the crowd and from the soldiers makes him feel even worse. Then Jesus falls because he just can't take another step.
Look at your heart. Have you ever had a hard time with something? Maybe you can't do something the way you want, or you feel as you keep messing up on something. How does your heart feel when this happens? Maybe your heart feels the way Jesus' heart felt. When you fell the second time, when you show Jesus how your heart felt, picture Jesus loving you. Jesus knows your heart felt. His heart probably felt the same way. Then, when you are ready, ask Jesus to help him make your heart more like his.
Eighth station, Jesus speaks to the women. Look at Jesus. After Jesus gets up, he continues on the road carrying his heavy cross. He passes some women who are crying because they are so sad to see Jesus suffer. But instead of thinking only of himself and how bad he feels, Jesus tells the women not to keep crying because of him. He tells them Instead, to take care of others, and especially to take care of their children.
Look at your heart. Sometimes it is easy to just think about ourselves, about what is not going the way we want it, or about problems that we have. It is very hard. Then, to think about other people, how does your heart look? When you do that, when you think only about yourself, show your heart to Jesus. And picture Jesus loving you with your heart that way. Then, when you are ready, ask Jesus to help him make your heart more like this.
Ninth station. Jesus falls for the third time. Look at Jesus. Jesus is so tired now that he can hardly take another step. It is hard for him to breathe. He has been walking a long time along the dusty road, and he has no energy left. He just can't go on anymore. Then Jesus falls down in the street for the third time. He is so very tired. Jesus asks God to help him, and Jesus gets up again, even though it is hard for him to do.
Look at your heart. When we have really tried to do our best and have not been able to succeed, it is easy to feel like Jesus did. Sometimes other people just keep yelling about something we do, or something other people make fun of the way we do something. Can you remember a time when you felt this tired in your heart, when you seemed to be having a sad or hard time with someone or something? Look at how your heart felt, and show your heart to Jesus. Then, when you are ready, ask Jesus to help him make your heart more like his.
10th station. Jesus is stripped of his clothes. Look at Jesus. Finally, Jesus reaches the hill that is the end of the road he has to walk. Jesus knows that he will die here, but before he dies, the soldiers will do more to him. They pull off his long robe, and almost all his clothes are taken from him. Jesus stands in front of the crowd with only a small piece of cloth covering part of his body. Jesus asks God to help him remember that he is not alone, that God is with him through all this.
Look at your heart. Is it hard for you to share or to give away something that you like? Do you sometimes like to keep everything for yourself? Do you ever let something of yours be the reason for bad feelings or bad words between you and someone else? If you remember a time when something like this happened, remember how your heart felt. Then, when you are ready, ask Jesus to help him make your heart more like his.
11th station. Jesus is nailed to the cross. Look at Jesus. How much Jesus hurts as the soldiers nail him to the cross. He hurts all over. He's tired and thirsty. He knows that he's going to die. But he looks at the people who have hurt him. And instead of saying bad things to those people, Jesus asks God to forgive them. He looks at his mother and tells her to take care of others. Even when he is dying, Jesus is caring for other people.
Look at your heart. Can you think of a time when someone's words or actions hurt you? Was it hard for you to forgive that person? Jesus knows that forgiving is hard. That's why Jesus will help you to change your heart when you ask him to help you to forgive someone. Then, when you are ready, ask Jesus to help him make your heart more like his.
Twelfth station. Jesus dies on the cross. Look at Jesus. Finally, after the long walk, after falling 3 times, after having the men beat him, after being nailed to the cross and suffering on the cross, Jesus bows his head and dies. Now this part of his life is over. There is nothing left for Jesus to give or to do. Jesus has given his life for all of us.
Did you ever feel that you wanted to make something better, or that when you had tried harder, something would change that you would want to change? Or maybe you felt that you did not try hard enough at something, and something bad happened. If you can think of a time like that, then show Jesus your heart and let him love you. Then, when you are ready, ask Jesus to help him make your heart more like his.
"13th station. Jesus is taken down from the cross. Look at Jesus. Now, Jesus' lifeless body is taken down from the cross. No more pain or suffering for Jesus. All the pain is over. Mary, Jesus' mother, holds him tenderly in her arms. How sad she is, and how sad Jesus' friends are. They are crying as they hold his body.
Look at your heart. Is there someone you love who has died? When you remember that person, how does your heart look? You can show your heart to Jesus and show Jesus what you miss about the person who died. Jesus knows what your heart looks like and loves you when you show your heart. Then, when you are ready, ask Jesus to help him make your heart more like this.
14th station. Jesus is placed in the tomb. Look at Jesus. Jesus' friends wash his body and wrap it in a clean sheet. They touch his body gently, and then they put his body into a tomb. When they are finished, they push a very large stone over the entrance so that no one can go inside. Now there's darkness in the tomb where Jesus' body lies, and all of his friends go home because they are very sad and tired.
Look at your heart. Can you remember a time when you were very, very sad to say goodbye to someone? Maybe you were leaving the person for only a short time, or maybe it was for a long time. Maybe you said goodbye to someone you loved when that person died. Take a few moments to think about one of these times you were sad saying goodbye, and show Jesus how your heart felt then. Try to picture Jesus loving you and being with you with your sad heart. Let Jesus love you a lot. Jesus knows how sad your heart is. Then, when you are ready, ask Jesus to help him make your heart more like his.
Jesus is resurrected. This is not the end. This is the beginning. Jesus carried the cross for us. For our salvation, look at Jesus in your heart. Jesus fills our hearts with light and love so that we too know eternal life.
This is the miracle of Easter.